Put in the clutch. You hear that? There's something binding or knocking or something. Put in the drive shaft and that's not working. It still has the clunking noise.
What is going on, guys? So I guess today is the big day. The Mustang is finally gonna start. It's early morning, I'm gonna get started on it. We have to do the drive shaft. We got the final piece in from BMR, so let's get to it. I'm ready to drive this thing. The only bad thing is it being down for 2.5 weeks, the battery's dead, and I found out this is the wrong battery for this car. The previous owner of the car didn't actually get the right battery, so I gotta buy a new battery once this is all done, and I can drive it. Let's see if she wants to start though, because like I said, the battery is completely dead. That does not sound good at all. Sounds like it was like down a cylinder or something. Yeah, I'd say this battery's completely toast. So maybe our first step of the day is getting a battery. Pull out the battery, and I'm gonna go ahead and get one from like O'Reilly's or something, but just so you guys know, the cold cranking amps, this battery's at 475. I looked it up, and on the Mustang, it's actually a minimum of 590. So the fact that this battery lasted about 3 years with less than the cold cranking amps on this big of a motor is pretty impressive. However, this is not the correct battery for the car. So I'm gonna fix that, get a new battery. I also looked up the tools I needed for the install. Don't have all the tools, so we're going to Harbor Freight and we're gonna get a new battery. Not exactly how I wanted to start this video, but we gotta get those things, so let's go knock it out. Alrighty, so now we have the new battery in place. This is just an O'Reilly Super Start, has the correct 590 cold cranking amps. So let's go ahead and start her up. This time, hopefully we don't see anything as an issue or sounds all weird. Took a little long to crank, but that's because it's a new battery. Every time you disconnect it, it does that, but way better. Let's go ahead and back it out so I don't gas myself out. All right, so now we have it up on all 4 jack stands. I thought the bags I was not gonna need to use the wood blocks, but I still do just to fit my jack under there. I guess it's low profile, but not low profile enough. I think the next step is going to be to go ahead, get under there, and start unbolting the drive shaft. I don't think I have to take off the exhaust because I watched a video of a GT500. He did the same drive shaft and he just slipped it through his H-pipe. And I think I could probably get away with that. So we're gonna try that first. Alrighty, so now we're up under the car. There's the back. Here is the pinion flange right here. I think I can slip it through this opening. I think I can get the drive shaft to just slip on through here. These are already dented, these resonators, so awesome. Right there is the carrier bearing. I think this is what is causing a bunch of issues. This is like where the 2-piece kind of bends and stuff. I can show you guys when it gets out of the car. We're gonna go ahead and try to knock this out. There's 4 bolts right up in there. Those little 12-point looking ones. So we're gonna try to knock that out. And then we're gonna get these out. And we're gonna get the 2 that are on this little carrier bearing right here. And then it should drop out and slide on through. So here's the back, the pinion flange. Bertha made quick work of these. These are 10 mil. I just left this one in there because it is loose. I don't want it to fall on my face. This front one was just too tight with the H-pipe right here to get the big Bertha in there. So I just did it by hand, broke it off with the breaker bar. Pretty easy, so. We're just gonna knock this out. This is a 12 point. So 12 there, 10-6 in the rear. And then I think it's a 13-6 for the carrier bearing. That Steeda transmission bushing I have, I'm gonna put it right here. It just fills in these gaps with like Delrin or Poly or something like that. So I'll put that in after I do the drive shaft just because I haven't driven the car so long that I really wanna give you guys a good before and after on it. A quick little tip, I'm home alone right now, which kind of sucks, but it would be a lot easier to have a friend just because while you're trying to torque it off, it needs to be in gear or else it'll slide like crazy. But then you put it in gear and that way it stays, but obviously you can only reach 2 at a time. So that's just the quick tip there. Same thing in the rear. Last ones are going to be these 2 right here. That's a 13 mil. I can reach in there with a nice little extension. So once that happens, then this entire thing is unbolted and then we just gotta pry it or dead blow it off that real quick and then hopefully slip it through that little gap. It was a bit of a pain up there just because it was stuck on there for 80,000 miles. So the thing I did was I stuck a screwdriver in here, kind of pried around a little bit to get it loose. I noticed some movement. Sprayed a PB blaster on it, let it sit a little bit and then kind of just wedged in an extension bar here and then spun it and it kind of broke loose on the little like rim right here. She's out now. We're gonna go ahead and see if it'll fit through. So let me go ahead, set up the camera and we'll fish her through. why you wear glasses. Still gets in your mouth, so close your mouth. There we go. So there's the stock one next to the new one. Pretty much identical links, as you can see. This one uses a special flange in the rear, but I think this is where the problem was. Either that or up here, like you heard whenever I was spinning it, it had that tinging sound. Let's go ahead and show you guys some Bmr parts too, because that's going in while this is out. While it was all out, I figured I'd do the upper control arm from Bmr. This allows you to adjust the pinion angle because this is the adjustable one. And then also they recommend their mount just because look at how thick that is. I'll show you guys the comparison when we pull out the other one, but there's the instructions, got me some stickers. This is greasable, so it should be nice and quiet while still being stiffer than stock. Just helps out a lot with deflection, and it's just an upgraded part, so why not throw it in there? We're gonna go ahead, start knocking this out as well. After knocking out the one under the seat, we're gonna knock out this one right there to 21, and then we'll get the 218s, one on this side, and one on the other side you can't see, but we're gonna go ahead and knock those out. And then from there, we should be almost good to go. Now we have the stock one out. As you can see, this bushing is really soft and it's just, you can dig in with that with your nail. This one's nice and hard, which is gonna just reduce the deflection. Also, take a look at how thin this metal is. You can see just how thin it is there and how thick it is here. So all that stuff combined, it just kind of makes the entire rear end feel a little bit more solid. So the starting point you wanna do is just go ahead, start off with the length that this is, and then we can adjust on the car. All right, so it's been a little while since I made an update, but I have the upper control arm and the arm mount all installed. A little bit of a pain in the butt whenever you're alone, just because the mount starts to get really heavy when you're on your back, and I kind of have long arms, so I sit there and I have like this really small like area and range of motion, so it just gets really tough. Also, I have the axle tube leak or whatever, so I have grease like all over there. I gotta clean it up. Also forgot to mention, I do have blue thread lock on all those bolts, so gonna be doing that as well for the drive shaft bolt. Took off the flange here. I have it sitting right here. So what we're gonna do is start off with this flange. As you can see, these are short Allen keys, 8mm socket or 8mm Allen. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and put this on the back of the differential side. And then we're gonna go ahead and torque this down to 45 foot-pounds with some blue Loctite. This is all pretty self-explanatory. It's basically bolts go in, torque them down, make sure they're tight, and we'll go from there. All right, so here is the car issue of the day because, you know, working on your car, nothing ever goes as planned. So this pinion flange, I guess the female of this socket or whatever, it's cross-threaded. So this is not the bolt that it's supposed to be in, but I was wondering why I couldn't get one of the screws in by hand as far as the others. As you can see, it just completely stops versus any of these other ones. You can just keep going until obviously your hand just gets tired. So yeah, we're dealing with that. And I don't know if this little flange is replaceable or if I have to get a tap and die. I don't know what this whole thing is here. So I don't know, I gotta figure this issue out now, so have fun with car stuff, yay. Alrighty, so after some frustration, I'm talking to my friend Orby here, but all I saw was maybe some extra thread locker, so I used the stock bolt there and just kind of went through with some PB blaster, knocked it all out. It was coming through and like I could do it all by hand. So after some frustration and stuff, I found that this is actually the issue. So as you can tell, this head all chewed up because I was trying to get in there and really force it down. However, look at the thread pitch. All right, so now that it's focused, can you guys see that the thread pitch is slightly different? Also look at the knurling. The knurling is larger on this one. Right here, it's just at the very tip. So I believe that that is why I can't get it in there is because it's a finer pitched thread. So this isn't even the right freaking bolt. Drive Shaft Shop sent me the wrong bolt. So I might have to go to Ace Hardware, try to find something similar. If not, well, I might be screwed. Maybe it's my fault because I have had this drive shaft for, I don't know, let's say a week and a half now, and I did not check all the bolts. I mean, the pinion flange, as you guys could probably see, was already attached, so why would I check those bolts? I don't know what to do here. This might be a very specific bolt. I can try Ace, obviously just get a very high grade hardware, but it's not looking too good because these fit perfectly in that flange. Okay, so I just went to Ace. Thank God that they had the bolt. This was a pretty hard to find, but they had it. I was able to test the thread. I'll throw in the clip, actually, I posted on my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram if you're not already, but
This clip shows that the 2 different thread pitches that Driveshaft Shop sent. Ace Hardware saving the day, but Driveshaft Shop, the f is this? Paid $900 for a drive shaft, put your car up in the air, and you get 2 different thread pitches. There is the one that was too fine of a pitch, and then this one is the normal one. All 5 of them are like this, except for this one, but this is going to replace it. Now this is what we're looking like, way better. Also have the blue Loctite on there. This is the one that I bought. Looks like it goes right in there. Even the same cap size like the Allen key. So we're making moves, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting there. Just gonna keep doing these in a star pattern, then torque them down to 45 foot-pounds. The pinion flange all nice and torqued down. Slid the drive shaft in. Tight fit, but you can make it work. Just don't bang it around too hard. Be careful with it. Now what we're gonna do is go ahead and do all 6 of these. Put it on the pinion flange, and then we'll go ahead, some blue Loctite, and then torque it down to its torque specs. Now we're making some real progress. We have the back piece, this is the diff. We have the back piece of the drive shaft completely on and torqued up. Now we're gonna just do the 4 front Allen key bolts or Allen head bolts. Right now we're looking at the front flange, got some blue Loctite on there. Just make sure you put them in there finger tight first. However, this is a lot easier. There's a lot more wrenching room. Again, I did this whole thing without taking off my Lethal Performance H-pipe. So just keep that in mind. It probably would have been a whole lot easier. However, I didn't want to deal with that. So I have minimal like range as far as my wrench goes on the rear, but right here, plenty of room. So we'll just go ahead and keep moving on, and hopefully this thing is dialed in and it'll be all good to go. So here we are, fully torqued down, all bolted up. We have it all the way down. Can't really see because it's dark out now, but Driveshaft Shop sticker there. Yeah, so all good to go. You can see the little welded on weights. Next step is to lower the car down on ride height. Go ahead and put the jack stands under the axles. Check the CV gap, check the pinion angle. I'm just gonna use the iPhone app and kind of see there because it is a range, so it should be accurate. As you can see, the CV gap is right there in the middle. What's that, just under 3.5, so between 3 1/4 and 3 3/4, so we're right in that little groove. Now we're gonna check the pinion angle and we should be good to go. Alrighty, so now that we're under the car, I checked the pinion angle as well at drive height. This one is a flat spot right here on the drive shaft, and this one is the pinion flange, so you wanna use this spot, or if you can, this little black one, but it's so thin, I just basically use this one. Same thing. I got 2 different measurements and you subtract them. I got -2 or 2, whatever. But we're gonna go ahead and go with that because Kelly at BMR says that's just fine. And then all we're going to do is lock in the pinion angle adjusters on the upper control arm that we installed. Alrighty, so we have it down at ride height. We're gonna go ahead, take it out. Not take it out, but we're just gonna let out the clutch and see. Starts rolling. So we're going 25, 6 gear. Let's go ahead. Take a look underneath. Obviously, you gotta be careful. Things are spinning. Everything's looking good to me. The wheel's spinning right there, no problem. We're gonna go ahead, take it down. Well, obviously hit the brakes and turn it off, but after that, we'll go for a test drive. We just pulled it down off the driveway, literally probably 30 feet from the house. Go ahead and back it up. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's the sound. Put in the drive shaft and that's not working. It still has the clunking noise, which absolutely sucks because I'm about to leave for about 2 weeks. So can't really fix it, last second things, but that's just how it is. I might have to actually reach out to somebody or have it looked at somewhere, like a professional shop. But I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about the sound wise. Put in the clutch. You hear that? There's something binding or knocking or something. So it's dark, I know, I'm sorry, and there's also a car on, but we titted around the block and I had the sound still. I'll have that clip in there obviously before, but I was like, why does it sound like it's more on my side? I remember when I lowered the Focus used to have coilovers and stuff. I didn't put on the wheels all the way and the lug nuts, and I had that sound. Just walked out and felt the lug nuts on the 5.0. I wonder if I did not tighten them all the way since the bags. And if it's that, I'm gonna be so relieved and also so mad because about $1,000 worth of parts just went into the Mustang for no reason. Well, early for no reason, but we're gonna test it out. I wanted this to be on camera just so you guys could see if I'm stupid. So if it is, then that's awesome. If not, well, I'm gonna have to reach out to somebody and get this fixed. We have it set at 85 or 90 foot-pounds. I did feel them already. They felt kind of loose. That one's there. I can't see anything. There we go. Oh. That's a little loose. Quite loose. Awesome. Well, I think we found our problem. Line got pinched whenever we did the bags, and I think that's whenever we didn't do it because we had to take the wheels off again, and it was so late after 2 full days of working on the bags. If this is it and we take it to our test drive, I'm gonna be so happy and mad, but happy. So now the lugs are on, and as you can hear, there's no sound. So this whole time was freaking lug nuts. I can't believe that. And my girlfriend, she was saying it was on my side more. I can't believe I didn't check lug nuts. Like this is not clickbait. Like this is literally what I just dealt with. So I'm happy though. The Mustang sounds normal. I'll put in the clutch where it used to like thud a lot. Smooth, no sounds. Oh, I'm so happy I have the Mustang back. Such a simple fix. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the freeway. I'll let you guys know how it goes as soon as we get back home. Alrighty guys, so that just goes to show that you have to check even the simplest things such as lug nuts before you go and spend $1,000 plus on some parts. So I feel dumb, but I at least feel relieved because at least it's fixed and I don't have to worry about it. But it's just, man, that was a lot of work. So, and now I have upgraded parts, no big deal there. Hope you guys enjoyed my struggle and enjoyed how to put in a drive shaft and the upper control arm. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here. I'm really tired. If you guys enjoyed, then please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.